Hey friends, welcome back. We have got another video for you. Here we go. Some lessons aren't taught in classrooms. They don't come from books or tests or grades. They come from moments, quiet, fragile, human moments. Moments when silence speaks louder than any voice ever could. I remember a teacher who rarely raised her voice. She had a way of pausing before she spoke, as if measuring her words not by their sound, but by the peace they would leave behind. Her classroom was different. No shouting, no rush, just space, the kind that makes you listen. One day, a boy came in late again, disheveled, distracted, his eyes somewhere far away. Most teachers would have scolded him. She didn't. She looked at him for a moment, then smiled, and in that silence, something shifted. No punishment, no lecture, just grace. He later said that was the first time anyone had seen him, not his mistakes. Years later, he became a teacher too. He said he learned everything from her in that one quiet moment. Silence is not emptiness, it's presence. It's the soil where kindness grows. We often think of education as noise, lessons, deadlines, instructions, but wisdom lives in the spaces between the words, in the breath between questions, in the patience to wait before reacting, because sometimes the greatest lesson is not what we say, but what we choose not to. There's a story from an old village where a monk taught children not with lectures, but with stillness. Each morning, he'd gather them under a tree. No words, no chalkboard, just silence. At first, they fidgeted, whispered, and laughed. Then, slowly, they began to hear what they had never heard before: the wind moving through the leaves, their own heartbeats, the quiet hum of life around them. When one of them finally asked, "Master, what are we learning?" he smiled and said, "To listen, to understand before you speak, to be kind before you are clever." Silence teaches us to see the person, not the performance, to notice the trembling hand of someone trying their best, to feel the unspoken pain behind a careless word. It is in silence that empathy blooms. Because silence asks us to pause, to make room for another's truth. And from that pause, kindness is born. Education, at its core, isn't about information, it's about transformation. And transformation happens not through noise, but through awareness. A wise person once said, "The quieter you become, the more you hear." In that hearing, we begin to see what truly matters: not competition, not comparison, but connection. The world is loud with ambition. Everyone is shouting to be seen, but the soul learns in whispers. There's another story about a girl bullied for her stutter who stopped speaking altogether. Her teachers tried everything: speech, drills, encouragement, therapy, but her words stayed trapped. Until one day, during art class, the teacher placed a small mirror on her desk. No words, just a note: "Your voice is beautiful." The girl didn't speak that day or the next, but weeks later she stood in front of the class and read her poem aloud, trembling, stuttering, crying, but free. That teacher's silence wasn't absence, it was love made visible through patience. And that's what true education is: not forcing growth, but creating the space where it can happen. The power of kindness often hides in restraint, in the decision not to react, not to judge, not to fill the quiet. Because silence, when offered with compassion, becomes a mirror reflecting dignity back to those who've lost it. Discipline without understanding hardens the heart, but silence with kindness softens it, and wisdom always follows softness. So what does it mean to discover silence? It means to listen deeply enough to hear the heartbeat beneath the noise. It means to be still long enough to feel the pulse of another's pain. It means to understand that kindness doesn't always arrive in words. Sometimes it arrives in presence. Because when you choose to be silent, you are not doing nothing. You are holding space for healing. You are teaching without speaking. You are educating the soul. One day, the boy who came in late, the one who met kindness instead of correction, stood before his own class. A student stumbled through a presentation, red-faced and nervous. The boy, now a man, simply smiled and waited. The same silence that once healed him, he now passed on. And in that moment, he understood what his teacher had known all along. Silence is not the absence of wisdom, it is the beginning of it. Education begins when we learn to listen, not just to words, but to hearts. And kindness is the purest form of teaching. So discover silence, because in silence we don't lose our voice, we find our humanity. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking this video, share and subscribing to the channel. See you next time.